Actually, lots of cancellations, delays that are causing a headache for travelers. Roseanne's going to break down where things stand right now.
And let's take a live look outside, shall we? There we have it. It is cold. It could be a summer day in July, but you wouldn't know it if you really do step outside. Caitlin has a look at the forecast.
It's chilly, cold weather advisory in place for all of us in Chicagoland until noon because of the wind chills dropping to that 20 to 25 degree below zero mark. So it is going to be cold this morning, cold this afternoon, but as Natalie just mentioned, it's beautiful. So you need your sunglasses along with all your winter gear. This is the actual temperature outside. It's 2 at the lakefront, 1 at Midway, 1 degree below zero from Aurora to 3 degrees below zero in DeKalb. So western areas below zero is the actual temperature. This is what it feels like. 13 degrees below zero at the lakefront, 19 degrees below zero at O'Hare. 20 degrees below zero from Aurora to DeKalb. Same thing in Northwest Indiana, ranging in the teens below zero. So just know it is going to be cold outside and the wind chill staying below zero through this afternoon. So making your plans, maybe make them indoors. It's going to feel like we could be around 7 degrees below zero at the peak today. Over the next 48 hours, first the clouds are going to build tonight. Then we have the chance for a few flurries around. Tomorrow, actual temperatures pushing back into the teens. But so still a cold Tuesday. And then we work our way into Wednesday. Same thing, almost copy paste repeat of our Tuesday forecast with a high of about 15. Notice Thursday back to the mid-teens. We will be watching for the potential for snow to wrap the week and head into the weekend. And then finally this weekend, we're seeing temperatures above 20 degrees. 24 on Saturday, Sunday expected to be right around 30. So a very cold winter-esque week is ahead for us in Chicago. And today is going to be the coldest. Be safe out there.
All right, Caitlin, thank you. So if today is the coldest, just keep in mind the ripple effect of what's already taken place. Trying to fly for the next few days is going to require a lot of patience.
That winter storm is affecting airports all over the country. Roseanne Tellez is live at O'Hare. Cancellations are stacking up. What kind of numbers are we looking at there, Ro?
Well, they are definitely growing. Just when you think things are starting to die down, in comes another influx of passengers. So that gives you an indication. There's a lot of catching up to do from over the weekend and more cancellations. So right now, Mike, in answer to your question, Fly Chicago reporting 205 cancellations here at O'Hare right now. That number has been growing through the morning. At Midway, 29, holding steady. The massive winter storm led to 10,000 flights canceled across the country yesterday. Snow, sleet, and ice grounding planes all around. These snowy scenes are at O'Hare, but the FlightAware misery map shows major issues in New York, D.C., and Dallas-Fort Worth. FlightAware shows more than 3,700 cancellations within, into, or out of the U.S. nationwide today. There are 976 delays at last check. System-wide, United has 282 cancellations. American has 656. That's just to give you an idea. But one woman we spoke with here at O'Hare says her flight's on time, adding that all this snow in Chicago's no big deal. But when other cities have issues too,
you know, everything else gets delayed and then the whole country kind of falls apart. So I was watching closely, hoping everything would be on time, and so far, good luck.
if Kate's luck holds out, she'll be having lunch in San Diego. So we wish her the very best, but warn the rest of you to make sure you check your flights and head to the airport early. Because, again, we've spoken to people whose flights really were not headed to really snowy areas, but because of connections and various issues, it's impacted a lot more people than many expected. Back to you now in the studio.
Thank you, Roseanne, so much for that update. We're glad to see Roseanne inside as well today.
Absolutely.
Yes. Developing this morning, we've got growing calls for an investigation after an ICE agent shot and killed a protester in Minneapolis.
So many questions about what took place. 37-year-old Alex Preddy was an ICU nurse. The Department of Homeland Security says the agent was defending himself against Preddy, who they say approached with a gun and attacked. However, the video from a witness appears to show Preddy recording agents with a cell phone, not a gun, when he gets shoved. Agents seem to pin Preddy on the ground, and when one of them walks away with a gun, an agent is seen drawing his own gun while another hit Preddy. That's when the gunfire begins.
Let's think of what those agents were doing on that scene, making a split-second decision. You've had 24 hours to try and armchair quarterback things. That agent had a split seconds to make a decision.
And a man lost his life. Minnesota authorities say they obtained a search warrant but were blocked from the shooting scene. Governor Tim Walz now says that the state will conduct its own investigation.
So my question is, what's the plan, Donald Trump? What is the plan? What do we need to do to get these federal agents out of our state?
The plan, according to President Donald Trump, is to leave, but he did not say when. The immigration crackdown in Minnesota was launched earlier this month. The Trump administration says that it is tied to a $250 million fraud investigation, not immigration, involving the Somali community. While the president has not said whether the agent who shot Preddy did the right thing, he is saying his administration is reviewing everything that happened.
Well, people hit the streets of Chicago to protest in solidarity with those in Minneapolis. They gathered at Ida B. Wells and Michigan Avenue downtown on Sunday. And you see there Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson calling for defunding and abolishing ICE.
Chicago is not just the greatest city in the world, but we are the toughest city in the world. And a little bit of snow and cold will not stop us. Not only should we defund ICE, but it is time to abolish ICE and send Greg Movino out. Are you with us, Chicago?
Today, a federal judge will take on a case focused on whether to halt the immigration crackdown in Minnesota. The state sued earlier this month, 5 days after Renee Good, a protester and mother of 3, was shot by an ICE agent.
It's going to be a vigil for Alex Preddy in Arlington Heights this evening at 5. Preddy was born in Illinois, but he graduated from high school in Green Bay in 2006. One of his former classmates, Christopher DeSalvi, says Preddy was involved in many school activities, from athletics to theater.
Even if you weren't like super close with him, like you felt like you had a friend and you had a genuine person who wanted to know you. I never had a bad interaction with him at all. I can't think of any.
DeSalvi says he and Preddy later enrolled at the University of Minnesota. We will check in with our Saquon, who is following the latest developments out of Minneapolis, in just a few minutes.
And closer to home now, 2 people are in the hospital this morning from an apartment fire in Rogers Park. The fire began on the first floor, though we don't know the cause. Fire crews say the sub-zero wind chills made it tougher to fight the fire. The condition of the victim is not known. And also developing overnight, crews rescue multiple people from an apartment fire on the city's north side. It happened in Rogers Park near the intersection of Northwestern and West Toohey Avenues. 2 people were taken to the hospital, both in critical condition. Crews say they weren't just fighting the fire, they were fighting the cold.
Challenges is the temperature right off the bat. And obviously, if you look at the building, the access, you got a couple little corridors down each side of the building, the front and back. It's not like you got a driveway that you can walk up or anything, or a parking lot.
Firefighters say the fire is out. No word yet on what sparked it.
Driving has not been a picnic with all the snow around here this weekend. It's been a nightmare. Illinois State Police responded to more than 300 crashes this weekend. On the Dan Ryan, traffic at a standstill when a big rig jackknifed at 31st Street, and there was a car into a wall on I-80 in Hammond, Indiana. There were crashes on the south side because of slick conditions. And here's how dangerous the storm has been across the country. 9 people have died. Hypothermia killed people in Louisiana, Texas, and Kansas. 3 people killed in Tennessee. And sadly, a couple killed in Massachusetts when they were hit by a snowplow. All across the South, especially with the ice, people are being told not to get on the roads.
Well, and here comes a perfect example of why officials are telling people to stay inside during weather like this. A reporter for Fox Nashville was trying to interview first responders and then had to run.
It lights it.
Wow. Well, the reporter and first responder heard that tree cracking and had just seconds to sprint away. We're happy to say they were fine, but it shows what has been happening in the Southeast. The ice coating trees, power lines. In Nashville alone, 175,000 people are without power, more than 200,000 across Middle Tennessee. And I'm going to be talking to a couple of friends who moved from Illinois to Tennessee, probably to get away from this kind of weather, and they have had to navigate scenes like this in their own yard.
Yikes.
I've seen video from Mandy and Graham where the trees are coming down behind them. It's just, it's scary. salary there.
But they've got lower taxes.
Well, there's that.
We can't forget about that. That makes up a little bit for something. Okay, we all know mentorship can be a crucial key to success for job hunters out there.
Yeah, I'm going to be talking to a hiring expert about some tips to keep in mind as you develop your skills for the workplace. So stay close. That and much more coming up after the break. It's 9/11.
Ashley's President's Day sale is going on.
All right, everyone, it's 9:13 as we give you this live look outside. It's honestly a beautiful day in the city. Just cold, cold, cold. And of course, be careful on those roads out there because we have a lot of slick ones for you to drive on. Now, January is National Mentorship Month, and new research is breaking down just how much mentorship is helping people make strides in their careers. So here to break down why it matters, Thomas Vick, Senior Regional Director at Robert Half in Chicago. Thanks so much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
And I should say back with us because you're a friend of the show. I think the world of mentorship as a whole at any point in time in your life, and sometimes we think like, oh, once you get to be an adult, maybe you've made it. No, you could still use somebody helping you along the way.
Absolutely. I mean, mentorship's extremely beneficial no matter where you are in your career, no matter where you are in your life or whatever you have going on. The thing that we really find is that both people really take something from it, both the mentor and the mentee, and so it's extremely valuable.
Why is it so right now?
I think right now, as people experience uncertainty maybe in the job market or they experience uncertainty with their career, what they're looking to do next, I think it's really crucial for them to be able to get some career guidance and really understand what they need to do to take that next step in their career.
And as I mentioned, you can find mentorship in really any aspect of life, but for professional growth, what makes it key there?
I think what makes it key is you really get a chance to learn from someone that's probably been there and done what you want to do. They can provide advice, and a lot of times it feels a lot safer than maybe talking to your direct boss or bosses because it feels like it's a lot more comfortable environment and someone that's not there to tell everything that you're talking about, but instead just offer guidance as to what to do next.
Yeah, I think when I first started out in the business, this was like 25 years ago, but when I first started out, I would call my mentors like once a week, at least, you know, and it might not be as much over time, but still just having that person to bounce your ideas off of, or the good days, the bad days, all those things. It is really important and helpful. How can workplaces, you know, foster that environment where people maybe have a mentorship program that's accessible to them?
That would be the biggest recommendation. If they don't have a formal mentorship program in place, we would highly recommend getting one in place because it can help with not just their career growth and trajectory, it also helps with the overall workplace culture because people feel more attached to others at the workplace as well as the actual organization itself.
I think if people see value in it, maybe, but don't really know how to go about getting a mentor, you know, don't really know, well, what do I say to the person? How do I even access the person? What would you say to them?
There's an acronym that we recommend following, and that is GROW. And that is gain experience in any way you can. Reach out to your network, own the interpersonal aspect of it, the communication, the adaptability, and then really just work. Gain experience any way you possibly can, whether that's contract work, full-time work, whatever it might be. In doing that, it's going to help you gain the experience as well as find the right mentor for you at that time.
When you're speaking to people maybe who say like, I don't need a mentor, I'm good, how do you get them to see the value?
The biggest way is to tell them the success that's happened from before and how others have been able to take things away from it and what they've been able to do with it. That's the biggest way, is just really tell stories, tell how it's been impactful, and any way that you can relate that to career growth and trajectory is extremely helpful to get the buy-in.
Yeah, I think there's so much to being able to say, one, to continue to be a sponge, you know, but two, that none of us made it here on our own.
Absolutely. No one, we've all had mentors, I promise you. Yes.
We all need some help along the way.
Absolutely.
Just own it.
Yes.
Thanks so much for being here. We always appreciate you. You always come with valuable information to give.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Natalie?
Anita, dozens of Minnesota businesses are making their voices heard in the wake of the latest deadly shooting involving federal authorities. We're talking small businesses, even huge companies based there. Fox Chicago's Say Kwan is live in Minneapolis for us with more this morning. Say.
Hey, good morning to you. We are here at the memorial. This is the site where Alex Preddy was shot and killed by a federal agent on Saturday. The tone here and the energy here is different, though, from what we experienced and what we saw here on Saturday. Things are very somber. A lot of people have been paying their respects and coming out with fresh flowers and lighting candles with new signs. And some people in this community have, been coming out since as early as 5 o'clock this morning. Now, I have been, of course, trying to connect with these community members for myself, asking them the important questions of why are you here and why is this important. We actually met a gentleman this morning. His name is Zach Hall. He's from Chicago. He flew in this morning and came straight here to this memorial. I want you to listen to what he has to say.
It's very personal. My wife is Korean. I think about the people here. I think about my wife. I think about you. I think about anybody with brown skin being asked for their papers. Where are we?
Right. So that sort of language is very consistent with what we've been hearing from members of this community. One thing about Minneapolis, too, is, this is obviously the start of a brand new work week. It's a Monday. People are going back to school. People are going back to work. That is not going to stop these people from showing up and, of course, paying their respects. So that has been really powerful to see. This memorial, by the way, has pretty much doubled in size from what I saw here on Saturday night. People were out here until midnight that day. And again, once again, it's proven that, they're not going to stop showing up. Now, you talk about these local businesses. Just for reference, just for some extra context of where we are, this is Eat Street. That's what a lot of locals call it. Many of these businesses and these restaurants are owned by immigrants or people of color. They, by the way, have been opening up their doors at the risk of their own safety sometimes, with federal agents around at times, to let people of our own community inside these buildings for a place to warm up and drink water and food. This is an example of what people here at this memorial are experiencing as well. People are frustrated. They are scared. They're confused. They want answers. We also are expecting to hear, hopefully, a response from the Trump administration and federal officials as two federal hearings play out in court today. Guys, all of that is pending. We know that really all those federal hearings have to do with the legality of these immigration operations that are happening statewide here in Minnesota right now. So we also know, just for another piece of information here. 60 CEOs from Minnesota-based companies, along with many of Minnesota's professional sports teams, have signed on to an open letter basically urging federal officials to de-escalate this situation and find a real solution. Now, that letter didn't necessarily specify what they wanted that solution to be, but once again, as we've been hearing from members of this community, they have made it very clear at this point they want ICE out. So we will, of course, follow the latest on this. We will be watching for those responses from our federal officials. We are going to be connecting with nearby businesses here today and, of course, connecting with our very own community members, and we'll be sure to let you know what we hear back.
Say thank you for painting the picture on the ground for us there in Minneapolis, and we will be right back.
Fox 32 News is brought to you by all.
We have been telling you and showing you about the horrible conditions weather-wise all over the country, and some of the hardest hit areas are in places where they just can't handle it. They don't have the snow removal equipment, but nothing is worse than ice. And I want to show you where the ice storm has been at some of its worst and feature a couple of folks who have relocated from the Chicago area to get away from weather like this. Mandy Zahn Bintliff and her hubby Graham, thank you guys for joining us. You guys are about 20 minutes north of Nashville. And we can see you've got sunshine there and an absolutely ice-coated tree in the background. You know, when you moved to Nashville, I realize a lot of this was to propel your music career, but did you think you were going to be dealing with wintry weather like this?
You know, they get the seasons down here, and we didn't think it would be like this, but, you know, more so the storms and tornadoes and that type of thing. But, yeah, the ice is definitely a different beast.
Yeah, now, this is new for us.
Yeah, and yesterday when we were chatting, and you would walk outside and trees were snapping in the background. Is that still happening now? Do you still have stuff like falling?
So there's been small limbs here this morning. All night last night, you could hear different crashes and cracks, and you know, we'd stop and say, "Oh my goodness, what was that? Did another tree come down?" Our backyard this morning is a war zone, so we're not going to walk back there.
Yeah, don't no. We're showing some pictures that you sent in, too, of some of the stuff that has fallen in your yard. Graham, you guys still have power, though, right?
Yes, we still do. There's parts of the neighborhood, I believe they're still out of power.
Okay.
And that happened yesterday morning, I think, when the ice got really bad. I mean, I was up about 4 a.m. and
Heard the big tree
yeah,
come
heard
down.
the big tree come down. That shook the ground.
I'm sure.
But yeah, it's we're grateful we have the power.
Yeah,
So,
right here. Block over, our neighbors do not have power. A tree came down on the power lines.
Yeah.
There's a power line down right over here
Okay.
on the road going across the road.
And of course, that's very dangerous if that's, live line crossing a road. You got to be really careful there because, that's an electrocution hazard. What are you expecting in terms of recovery here from this? You're going to be below freezing for a couple of days, aren't you?
We are
Yeah, all week.
till Sunday.
Yeah, I don't think we break freeze until Monday.
Wow. Wow.
Next Monday, yeah.
All right. So what are you doing in terms of, like trying to protect things that haven't broken yet? Is there anything you can do there to kind of deal with this situation right now?
Not really.
Yeah.
Just pray that it doesn't hit the house and pray it doesn't do any more damage to power lines. I mean, we just have to, pray that doesn't happen.
Yeah, and as far as our water lines go, we've got every faucet dripping. We've got things insulated. I used press and seal on the windows, keep the cold out. So other than that, there's not really much you can do. Yesterday when the trees were coming down and back, we watched it, high-fived each other when it did not hit the house. It came right down in front of the back bay window. So
I guess one of the worst things that could happen now is if the winds really picked up. So hopefully that's not going to be the case. What are the local weather people telling you there?
To stay off the roads.
Okay.
65 and 31, it's the terrain down here it's all hills and mountains and curves. We are at the top of a ridge off 65 just north of Nashville. And stay in, stay warm, keep your pipes dripping.
Yep.
Do not call 911 if you have a power outage. And just remain safe and take care of your neighbors.
Well, yeah, and it sounds like if you've got neighbors that don't have power, they may be wanting to, come over by you and warm up a little bit there. Mandy and Graham, we appreciate you joining us here this morning and giving us, kind of a look behind you there at what's going on. Hopefully this will all thaw and you don't have any more damage. Oh, I see somebody slipping by. Yeah.
Yeah, it was our neighbor down the road, just made it up the hill.
Yeah, they're going out checking out folks, so.
All right, guys, stay safe, try and stay warm, and keep singing, Mandy.
Thank you so much. It's good to see you.
You too.
Take care, Chicago.
Bye-bye, you guys. Mandy's a wonderful vocalist, and Graham is a fantastic drummer. We have ice on the lake, but sunshine is out here with a 0 for a temperature. Got the full forecast coming right up for you.
The best Chicago has to offer.
Welcome back. I'm Gabriela Primus. Here are some of the top stories we're following this morning. The clock is ticking for Congress to make some familiar decisions this morning. The government is set to run out of money on Friday night. Last year, there was a complete shutdown. That wouldn't be the case this time, though. Most of the spending bills have been passed, but there are 6 that have not. Senate Democrats say they will not vote for any bill funding ICE because of the Minneapolis shooting. The shutdown last year, we know, set a record for the longest one yet. The American Academy of Pediatrics is going on its own way on vaccine recommendations. The Tribune first reported the agency will continue to say infants need to get vaccines for hepatitis B and the flu shot, plus a COVID vaccine. The new recommendations from the CDC say those are optional. The Academy of Pediatrics has the support of several medical associations. This kind of weather might not be great for your electric vehicle. Consumer Reports say electric vehicles might not run extreme cold, or at all. Consumer Reports say the cold saps the battery's ability to produce power. If it does power up, it still might not have the juice to warm up the passenger area, meaning a very cold ride. So you might want to step out just a little bit early to check in case you need to make a backup plan. That's always a good idea, right, Mike?
Yeah, definitely. Especially in temperatures like these. We have 0. Look at our ticker there. That is not a happy time, and that is making street cleanup much more difficult. You know, the plows have been out there, and you look there at the intersection in front of our building, Michigan and Lake, and it's just kind of damp pavement, but there may be some icy patches where you live, so watch out for that, even as there's no snow falling. I mean, we have perfectly clear skies out there right now. Look at the ice along the lake, and in some cases, this ice is reaching out about 10 miles plus into the lake. Perfectly sunny at O'Hare, 0. West-northwest wind at 14. You got a wind chill of 19 below 0, and that's why we still have that cold weather advisory in place. I'll show that with our map here in a little bit. These are the temperatures. 2 below 0 still at Woodstock, DeKalb, Rockford, 0 in Morris, 1 below at Kankakee, 2 in Merrillville. At Chicago's lakefront in Gary, it is 3. So a little bit of snow falling around Benton Harbor. Winds generally 10 to 20 miles per hour. These are the gusts. And because of these stronger winds, the wind chills, this is what it feels like on the skin that you don't cover. Feels like 21 below at Aurora, 20 below 0 at Woodstock. Even worse at DeKalb. We have 19 below 0 for a wind chill at Valparaiso. That's the cold weather advisory for another 2.5 hours. But at noon, nothing magical is going to happen where you can walk outside and be like, oh, this is extremely comfortable now. That is not going to be the case. Sky is going to stay sunny all day long. The exception will be downwind of the lake there in Berrien County and over towards South Bend. But even you will get some sunshine this afternoon. Skies with sunshine will help a little bit with the road conditions, even with temperatures as cold as they are. That sun beating down on the pavement tends to cause some of that ice to sublimate and go away. This is our Futurecast. Notice around 1:30 in the morning, little tiny piece of snow sneaking in along the Cheddar Curtain. Flurry or a brief snow shower, that's it. No big deal with that. There might be a little lake effect snow for you again in Berrien County at some point tomorrow going into Wednesday, but the rest of Chicagoland should get into some sunshine. And even on Wednesday, I think we'll have a mixture of sun and clouds. But the problem is there's no mild air in sight. We are stuck in the cold, I think sub-freezing temperatures for the end of the month at least. 10 today, wind chills as bad as 20 below. Plenty of sunshine. We got that going for us. Tonight, increasing cloud cover, a low of 5, and temperatures start to rise a little bit overnight with strengthening southwest winds. A couple of flurries, especially far north. Tomorrow, 16. Wednesday, 15, 18 on Thursday. This is a time frame I'm watching. Possible lake effect again Friday and Saturday. It's simply too soon. Try and pinpoint where that is going to go. We'll keep you posted. Got some lovely, or in this case, I mean, it's beautiful, but in kind of an ugly way. This is the St. Joseph Lighthouse there in Michigan, and Mac Deco out there giving us a look. Absolutely ice crusted. This is one of the popular winter photo spots, and Mac, you got a great shot there of the ice station zebra. All right, second photo. This is video from Kathy Abretsky, and that snow came right back at you there in Porter, didn't it? Many parts of northwest Indiana got pummeled with the lake effect, especially late yesterday and at night. There were some reports of more than a half foot of snow coming down. Thanks, Kathy. And our last photo, it's another video. Snow coming down in Gurnee. This is from Danny Maloney. and picked up, I'm not that far away from you there, Danny. I got 4 inches. Looks like you got about the same there. Not as bad as some of the neighbors to the south. Thank you for sharing that photo. Natalie, back to you.
Thank you, Mike. Prompt and Prompted. That's the title of a new exhibition that is taking center stage at the Hyde Park Art Center. And this morning, we are talking to the artist behind the art. Yoon Shin Park is joining us this morning. Thanks so much for being here.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you.
I love what I am seeing behind you. Explain what we're looking at.
Yeah, the Prompt and Prompted exhibition is an exhibition about books. You don't just read, but experience. And it uses the concept of artist book to invite people to interact with book pages as a physical spaces.
How fun! You know what? When I first read about this was not what I expected. And I'm so delighted about it. So tell us about the artist books and how are they different from traditional books?
Yes, an artist book reimagines or transforms the function, form, or concept of a book as an inspiration and make them into expressive medium.
How long have you been making these books, and what really fascinates you about them? What draws you to them?
For a long time, it reflects my interest in book and paper art, and also the exhibition reflects my years in teaching at the Hyde Park Art Center, the courses, artist book courses at the Hyde Park Art Center. So the exhibition also includes works by former class participants. And we are highlighting how creativity and learning develop into shared exploration of this medium and conversation.
You mentioned classes. Are you still hosting classes where people like maybe myself could come out and learn how to make one of these?
Yes, I do. You could find all the information about exhibition and classes at the Hyde Park Art Center's website, and you could come out and explore some of the class materials, like this interactive library section.
You know, I'm always looking for things to do with my child, especially on days like today where it's so cold outside. If we wanted to do something like this at home, how do we get started?
You could even start from your old book and reform it into your own personalized book structure by folding or just cutting out or doing some collage and change words.
Besides, maybe you're not familiar, but I'm going to ask anyway, besides the artist books, what other types of classes can we take there at the Hyde Park Art Center?
Oh, the ceramics classes are so popular here. You have to really hurry to sign up. And you could take teen classes and also other varied artistic forms are offered here.
I love that. So many mediums, so much fun, so much to do in Hyde Park at the Art Center there. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
And we'll be right back.
It is a competition to find the best cocktail that's alcohol-free. Artifact Events is hosting their 3rd annual No ID alcohol-free cocktail competition and tasting event. It's coming up in just a few days. It's perfect for dry January. Here to break down the details, we have Artifact Events General Manager Pete Glass, and with him is Dennis Weber. He is with Ben's Friends. Good morning, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here this morning. Pete, let's start out first with you. What can folks expect from this year's competition, and what was the impetus for starting it a few years ago?
So a few years ago, we noticed that exponential growth with the mocktail industry, with the non-alcoholic industry, the options that were out there. In 2023, it became a $20 billion business.
That's pretty big.
It sure is, and it grows about 20% each year.
Okay.
We developed the program with 2 different components. One is 12 to 15 vendors who will provide their products for people to sample. And then we have 10 bartenders who will craft and create their own mocktail that attendees can sample. They will vote to place the top 3, and then we have 3 judges who will determine the placement of the top 3.
Gotcha. So the public is going to narrow down the field, and then there's a panel of judges that will pick from the top 3.
Correct.
I've got. And what are some of the criteria? Is it all taste based? Are the people doing flair as they're making this? How do folks judge this?
The one requirement is that a Q Mixer ingredient is involved. They are a sponsor of the event, and then it's up to their own creativity and their own innovation with developing a cocktail.
Okay, all right, very good. Now, we know it's dry January. You've said, and I'm going to go to you on this one, Dennis, that you've noticed an increase in the amount of people participating in a dry January.
Oh, yeah, people are into it more and more than ever. They really must have overdone it in the holidays.
What do you attribute that to?
I don't know. I think there's just a general mindfulness around imbibing and substances these days. I think people, the world is so crazy these days. I think people want to have a clearer head. People want to be a little bit more ready for, the news that comes every day.
Good point.
Yeah,
good point.
I don't know.
All right, this isn't just a competition. It is a tasting. Tell us more about that component.
So of our 12 to 15 vendors, we have a few of them. Groovy does a few products. Q Mixers will be there.
Okay.
Zing Zang will be there. We'll have some alcohol-free wine options, sparkling wine.
Okay.
Smashed is one of the vendors that will be in with canned RTDs that are alcohol-free.
The ready-to-drinks, for those who don't know what an RTD is. And here we're showing some of the information about this. Dennis, the ticket sales here, they're going to a really good cause that you're deeply involved with. Tell us about Ben's Friends.
Yeah, I'm here representing Ben's Friends, which is a really important resource. It's a sober group for food and beverage professionals. As many people know, the food and beverage industry is rife with drugs and alcohol, drug and alcohol abuse. I am now a sober person who works in restaurants still, and it's really important to have that resource. We are surrounded by alcohol, and to be able to talk to like-minded fellows and have the support of a network that really knows what we go through on a day-to-day basis for our work, while also trying to maintain sobriety is really important. And it's great for people who work in the industry who are probably sober curious, might even be participating in Dry January, to know that, it's something that's actually sustainable. Sobriety and work in the industry is something that can actually coexist, even though many people are like, ooh, really?
There's a lot of temptation.
Yeah. When you're shaking it, pouring it, it's there.
Ooh, maybe we have a little sample of that one.
Yeah.
All right, where can folks get more information? Tell us exactly when and where the event is going to be so folks can find it, and then also give us a website or where folks can, get a ticket.
Absolutely. Artifact Events is located in Ravenswood. It's 4325 North Ravenswood.
Okay.
Information can be found on our social media websites, and tickets are available through Eventbrite.
Okay.
The event itself goes from 6:30 to 9:30. 6:30 to 8 approximately is when they will have the opportunity to sample the creations and make their determination. And then judging will be complete by 8:30, and the vendors will still be available until 9:30.
All right, are you going to reach back to us and let us know who won?
Absolutely. Would love to.
Outstanding. I want to hear what the winning mocktails are there and what the ingredients were, so maybe my wife can make them at home. We'll see about that. Dennis, Pete, we appreciate you coming in here. I hope it's a well-attended event, and what a wonderful cause that is going to benefit from this. We'll be right back with more of Good Day. Take a look right there for more info on how you can be involved in that no ID alcohol-free competition and tasting coming up.
Renovation, meet innovation.
Welcome back. There's been an arrest for an attack on a lawmaker at the Sundance Film Festival.
Gabriela Primus is here with more. Gabby.
You know, I would say this is somewhat a crazy story. Congressman Maxwell Frost was punched in the face on Friday night. He says the man who hit him also told him the president would deport him. Utah police say a 28-year-old man crashed the party Frost was attending. They say the suspect faces several charges, including assaulting an elected official. Frost says he's fine. The Sundance Film Festival says the attack goes against its welcoming atmosphere. The IRS is opening up tax filing today. If you've got your W-2, you can calculate what you'll owe or what you'll get as a refund and file your taxes with the federal government. New provisions in last summer's Big Beautiful Bill may benefit some of us. Some provisions include no tax on tips, no tax on overtime pay, no tax on car loan interest, and enhanced deductions for seniors. Chicago food banks and pantries are bracing up for SNAP cuts. Starting February 1st, this upcoming Sunday, I should say, anyone between the ages of 18 and 64 without dependents will need to work or volunteer for at least 80 hours a month to keep their benefits. Anyone else will get only 3 months of benefits within a year period. Well, the Patriots being bad, it did not last very long. They will play the Seahawks in Super Bowl 60 in 2 weeks. New England beat the Broncos in a blizzard in Denver, and Seattle beat the Rams at home. It's the 4th Super Bowl for the Seahawks. It will be the 12th Super Bowl for the Patriots.
All right. Nobody here looking forward to that game.
Yeah. Really? I mean,
It's just a football game. We're looking forward to it. Yeah, it would have been more exciting if the Bears were there.
Yeah.
But still,
Okay,
you know?
speak for yourself, Anita.
Although we kind of look like Vikings fans right now, guys, with all this purple.
A lot of purple going on. Yeah.
Okay. And did you guys catch this over the weekend on Netflix? This was a live streamed event. Kaplan did. I caught it taped on Sunday. This guy climbed one of the world's tallest skyscrapers on live television.
Crazy.
No harness, no nets, nothing.
My friends were texting about it first thing in the morning. American rock climber Alex Honnold climbed the top of the Taipei 101 skyscraper without any ropes or protective equipment. Oh my goodness, that's 1,667 feet, and the whole thing was broadcast live on Netflix. So you may know Honnold for his ropeless climb up El Capitan in Yosemite National Park. The feat was captured in the documentary Free Solo. He has nerves of steel that I hope to never actually, have.
He's like Spider-Man. We watched essentially this whole thing. A friend of ours, my wife and I were at dinner, and I got a text saying, "You're watching Skyscraper." I'm like, what?
Yeah, right.
So then we loaded it up on Laura's phone and started watching it at the restaurant. Like, what is this dude doing? You gotta be kidding. And we watched the rest of it when we got home, and I mean, the building is, there's segments that are going up and out like this, and then even at the end, after he climbed on top of the spire, it's like a dome, and he's just standing. You see the wind blowing? It's like, no.
So after all that, he had some very interesting commentary today.
He did. So Anthony was telling Gabby earlier today, because Anthony interviewed him several years ago, and he got this CAT scan done, and he doesn't feel fear like the rest of us. Something in his DNA doesn't allow him to be fearful. And I think that's why he's able to do this. But at the same time, you want to be married to somebody like that?
She was super proud.
She was very well spoken. They have 2 young children. I don't know.
Because I mentioned he has to be wired different, right? To be able to do that. And that's where Anthony brought it up. He's like, yeah, actually, he literally is.
Oh, no. Well, at least that should make all of us feel a little bit better, right? Like, it's in his DNA, not mine.
I'm going to climb out of the chair. I'll be good.
Okay.
Be right back.
We'll watch.
What's your case worth?
9:57, good morning. We have a lot coming up this morning.
Including a big question. It's number 3 on that list there. Does tech really help kids? We got tablets instead of pen and paper in a lot of schools. Is it really working? That and a couple other trending topics coming up on Chicago Now.